One. There we go.
No,
Oh
you.
Man, this
no!
guy can't even count down properly. I just want
Sh-
everyone to know that.
God damn it! No, I was trying to fucking push a button on my phone to switch the scene, but it wasn't responding fast enough. Damn it!
Herp a derp.
But
Yes, exactly.
God damn it. Anyways, welcome back to another our normally scheduled podcast episode. I will not promise you if there are times too where I will have to take a week off to visit my parents' place because yes, I now live away from my family. Woo.
I believe we
But
already went over
Ooh.
this last week.
yeah. Yes, we went over this last week. So we're gonna go with in this case something not new. And in this case, this is me mixing or fixing the fuck up I did a while back. We're gonna actually start recording and hopefully we do the fucking kung fu films talk again. Jesus. I remember I was so sad too to see that like as soon as I finished recording too, I couldn't find a recording, and even if I tried to do a rerun or try to record it again too, audio was so fucked that I don't even know if it's still up anymore at this point. I kind of just remember in the back of my mind that I was not proud of that episode.
It's okay.
So we're just gonna go about this again, all right? So starting again, welcome back to another episode of Hotter Trash Podcast where we say a whole lot of bullshit, and I am probably going to become an alcoholic by the end of this.
Already an alcoholic.
Hey.
Just the foreshadow he is.
Oh my god, wait, no. But in the meantime, we're really just going back to the Kung Fu films, movies, and once more, just because, again, I wasn't proud of it, so we're going to go back at it again. But really, to kind of just lay into the point here, I do believe Jet Li as a actor did in this case elevate like kung fu films to be even more popular in the West than Jackie Chan was, in
Hmm.
my honest opinion. Now, a lot of people can just say to me, but what about Bruce Lee or what about like Jackie Chan? Unfortunately, a lot of times too, they end up getting typecasted for like the role that they are doing. Albeit Bruce Lee was doing everything he could to not have that happen to me. And for Jackie Chan, that was mostly like his specialty. Like he was really good at doing action comedy. So really, whenever the movie like Heroes by Jet Li, whenever that got released here in the West, that got all of the praise and nomination that it got to. I think it won an Oscar awards too for best visual arts too, from what I remember.
Hmm.
I remember having to like learn this too from like humanities class. Like we were just watching Heroes. That shit was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we have all that stuff. Oh yeah, it was not Heroes, just Hero. Um, Pretty much that kind of cemented to the point that like Jackie Chan can actually be like a very serious and taken as like a main character actor too, where he's seen as a actual hero.
Mhm.
But outside of that too, some of like the biography stories that I actually keep in like some parts of it still remembering this. He got typecasted to do a lot of villain roles whenever he first came over in America. Like for the most part, if anybody remembers this franchise title, Lethal Weapon,
I
I
do, but I don't remember what the movie was about.
to be honest, same here. I don't even really want to watch it too, just because the whole thing with Lethal Weapon and as a series is kind of weird to me. But that was also like for those that don't know, that was also where Danny Glover and Mel Gibson was like featured in the whole thing. That was they were the main star. Oh, and Joe Pesci too. For any of the people here that are not that fluent with like actors as well, they are now old and decrepit as fuck right now.
I am, bro.
Yeah. So Lethal Weapon 4 would have been like the only time that he got featured in this too. But it was also probably like Jet Li's not like wasn't his favorite role to be in because he likes to be portrayed as like the hero characters. Like if we see like the film works that he did back in like Hong Kong, I think it was like Once Upon a China. and what was it? The Bodyguard from Beijing. Yes, that one. Those were very popular whenever he was like debuting in a Hong Kong scene. To for people out here too, whenever we talk about kung fu films, I'm gonna be talking in respect of things that I watched during the Hong Kong era of filmmaking, and then later things are trying to slowly transfer over to the West here. So, asking you guys here, what was like your favorite kung fu film that was during those time periods of like the old 90s, 80s style like act kung fu movies? If you
I
guys
don't know,
could
man.
remember top of your head.
I don't watch that much. Let me be honest.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
just anything Jackie Chan, honestly.
hmm because I will.
Actually, actually, let me say again, Jackie Chan's action comedy,
Right.
not the serious stuff.
Yeah, like Police Story would definitely be like a serious series too, but it's also probably one of his best works as well.
Yeah, no, it
Rush
is.
Hour.
It is. But we
We'll
enjoy the
get there
action
later.
comedy from we enjoy the action comedy from Jackie Chan because that's what he does a lot.
Yeah, there's also another one that he was like when he was also being an actor too. I think it was like Wheels on or Meals on Wheels or something like that. It was an amazing movie back then too because it features like not Eddie Gordo. Fuck, I forgot. Benny the Jet. Benny the Jet. One like the renowned UFC fighters that at the time everyone was so excited to see like young Jackie Chan and him actually going about it with each other. Because funny thing for everybody else as a history fact here, Benny the Jet, even though he was featured in multiple like Jackie Chan films, later ends up training Joe Rogan to do UFC fighting.
Mm.
So, fun fact that's right there from what I can read up to at this point. But really, Jackie Chan has been known for with his action comedy too. Meals on Wheels is probably like his best action work in my honest opinion. Albeit there are definitely more things to go about it too. Like for example, Legend of the Drunken Master. That was probably his quintessential piece of actual like fight choreography that I feel like exemplifies what makes his movie special compared to everybody else. So this is in the same year era where both Jet Li, Donnie Yen, Sammo Hung were all in their prime era. And also to make this even funnier too, Jet Li is technically older than Jackie Chan,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I believe Donnie Yen is like between the two.
Oh, yeah, look this up. Oh, look.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't mind, like, if because um, I know Jackie Chan. He's currently like reaching to his like
He's 70
70s.
something.
Oh my god,
Donnie Yen is 62.
damn. He still looks good 62 though. That's the
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Oh, yeah. I want him to wine and dine me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Look, man, you should see Donnie Yen during his like Hong Kong era too. He was like a stud.
Exactly. He's
Like,
like, hey, big boy, come
okay,
take me out to dinner.
okay, I take that back too. A lot of it only because like if we try to address it as a whole about like whole Hong Kong films that doesn't just include kung fu fights too, and it includes like dramas and whatnot too. He's like one like maybe like top 10 or top 15 of like the hottest actors during that time, hottest
Mhm.
actors or actresses. But every
Yeah.
one of them, but every one of them is attractive in their own right. Hell, Sammo Hung was deemed at this point has some appeal too, and I love the way how he fights too. It's just that a lot of times in the behind the scenes, can be like very much brutal to like his stuntmen and also actors whenever he wants to portray a scene, which it kind of comes with the territory of like the time era of you guys don't have like health insurance at the time, or there's no guarantee that you will come out of the shoot alive.
Indeed.
So it's just a matter of like he's just taking this as serious as he possibly can. But nowadays too, everything has changed, and so we're gonna go back to my original point. Why do I think Jet Li is by far he is the one that actually kind of brought like all of this to the Western, and I already kind of foreshadowed it with the two words here, the one. because I believe that like Jet Li, in all honesty, he had more exposures working with a lot of like American action actors or Western action actors than a lot of the other people, in my honest opinion. I think Jackie Chan was able to later on in life, but before everybody else and Donnie Yen, it was mostly Jet Li. He was the one doing all this shit. For example, in the movie The One, Jason Statham was featured in this movie as well. Weirdly enough, he looks way different in this movie than he does nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's like 20, 30 years ago.
let me see, 2001. God,
25 or pushing
24.
25.
Yeah, it's pushing 25 years now. Holy hell. Now, some may say too, like a lot of other people's favorite, if it wasn't a hero, the one would have been there too. I want to go the different route here. I actually enjoyed, hold on, it's not Kiss the Dragon. There's two movies by him. All right. And I have to be very careful which one they are because a lot of times when Jet Li was making a lot of these movies too, he was in this case working with a lot of like black actors at the time, which a lot of times as well in America, that's why Jet Li is actually seen more favorably in the black community, which is in a lot of ways kind of shocking for a lot of Chinese actors.
Yeah.
Just to be like recognized outside of like your own circle within America and then just be like, oh, what the fuck? Ah, here it is. In the movie called Romeo Must Die, features in this case
Oh, yes. I remember that.
yeah,
Football.
yeah, Romeo Must Die features in this case his co-star Aaliyah, who tragically passed away from a plane accident. I won't go more into like all the conspiracy theories that went behind that too, but needless to say too, there were a lot of times too where on set, from what I remember, both Jet Li and Aaliyah actually had amazing chemistry. Not to the point where they would be like romantically interested chemistry, but they would like actually like be more comfortable like shooting scenes together kind of stuff. Like they're able to do a lot more, and it's like why a lot of times you kind of watch the movie is like this is actually way more enjoyable seeing these two interact than anything else. So that's a little tidbit note here. And he did actually feel sad too that he wasn't able to like uh work with Aaliyah anymore whenever I believe it was Cradle to the Grave. Because Cradle to the Grave features in this case another late artist here, DMX. I know it sounds insane when I throw that out there, but yes, DMX was an actor. Originally, the female actress at the time would have been Aaliyah, as that was something that would have happened, but in the end too they couldn't get that going, so they went for someone else instead, and therefore the script kind of went differently. I think the movie was still good in my honest opinion, but really I think the best movie here that I think really exemplifies Jet Li's acting was, I think it was called Unleashed. Think it was called. Yeah, it was called Unleashed. I know Fearless is another great movie by Jet Li, but Unleashed, in my honest opinion, really took it to the other points of how Jet Li is not just like a kung fu master too, even though he is actually a Shaolin master in all senses here. But he was also a great actor. So for those that want to have a movie recommendation, please watch Unleashed. It's actually a really good story, and also you see the best parts of him. And then later on, you do see like he does take on like odd roles here and there too, of movies that he would be a part of. One of the most notable ones would be The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. God, I forgot about this movie existence. And also him working with Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone in the Expendables movies. And then afterwards, he kind of
that was fun.
Yeah.
The Avengers.
uh, not just the Avengers. It's just a bunch of old geriatric dudes that were in their prime time, based on like our parents' generation of what they saw as action stars.
So our parents' Avengers.
Yes, that would pretty much be the best way to describe it. And then, unfortunately, too, I feel like this is unfortunately like the last stain on his movie, at least in the Western sphere here, where the last movie that he has worked on was Mulan, the live action series. God, that was a disappointment.
I didn't even see it.
You're not missing much too. It's effectively they try to make Mulan sort of like a Star Wars story, effectively. It was kind of bullshit and gross, really. And also the fact that Jet Li purposely took the role of like being the emperor only because he didn't really want to do any more action scenes for a while too, because obviously he was getting really old. I think he is like 80 years old right now.
Who?
Jet Li. He was born in 63. What does that make him now?
I don't know, Brian. Does that equate to 80?
62, bro.
Oh. Oh wait, you telling me Jet Li is younger than him? Oh. Oh shit, never mind. I'm sorry, I take that back, Jackie Chan. You are actually the oldest here. I am so sorry. I made that back. So, oops. But now, outside of me kind of just not listing out any more of like his filmographies that he's a part of too, I strongly do believe that like outside of like Jackie Chan, Jet Li was probably the one, for me at least, that made it seem like kung fu movies were becoming very popular here in the West. Just because we see like other action movies try to emulate stuff that a lot of other kung fu stars have done previously when it comes to action scenes. Albeit, whenever Westerners are trying to make like action scenes too, a lot of them kind of suck ass. Here's my perfect example about this: the Bourne Identity series with Matt Damon. Now,
Matt Damon.
no, we are not referencing the Team America one, damn it.
Damon.
God damn.
Damon.
God damn it.
Matt Damon.
So, anyways, my only gripe with like the whole Born Identity series too, like I think it's a great movie, but I really hated the way how they take action shots. This is coming from me though, where a lot of times the way how Westerners are filming all their action scenes is that they're very much quick fights and they have a lot of cuts too, because a lot of times they're trying to showcase like certain things, but it's also to like hide the fact that these actors genuinely can't fight that well in real life either. But that's also why you have actors like Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, and Jet Li. You see like their action scenes look better too, only for a couple reasons. One, they're all like professionally trained like martial artists. And on top of that, they have a better understanding of how to like use camera angles to make sure like a fight scene looks good on camera. And the other component would be long cuts and takes too, and just honestly, yeah, I think those are the only two I can think of right now. Unless you could come up with a third one here for me, Victor. If there's like more to like what makes like those kung fu fights more entertaining to watch than the modern ones.
I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't know. It just looks enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain for me.
Like, if anything, would I be kind of nailing pretty close to like what it kind of just feels to? Like most of the time, they're just professionally trained martial artists, and a lot of the takes are usually long cuts. So a lot of it is not ever cutting away from the action.
Yeah, I think it is because they do know what they're doing,
Mm.
rather than having to rely on CGI or some to make a fight scene.
No, I will say too, in terms of like modern like action scenes too, we actually had quite a plethora of good examples here. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to throw this movie in here too, even though we've been shitting on this. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Despite me criticizing the story and Simu Liu as his portrayal of Shang-Chi, the action scenes were fucking awesome in the entire movie.
Agreed.
I hate him, or I hate the way how the movie portrays
I hate him.
his. Sorry, I feel.
Bro.
Sorry. Uh, I need to word this better too, so that it doesn't just come off as that too, and it's like boring, right? What I mean to say is that I hated the portrayal of his character too, but whenever they conduct a lot of the action scenes, that was amazing and great too. But it was also because they had like really good action coordinators that were working on his scene. Which, speaking of which, too, a lot of the coordinators and a lot of like the people working camera works here too, because that's also another part about it. The camera is just as much as part of the action as the fighters themselves too, because you got to make these shots engaging. Now, what's another great example of this? Kingsman. Holy shit, Kingsman was such an entertaining watch. Even though it still follows the same things that I criticize a lot of Western films of making too many cut takes. However, what they do is that they do artificial long takes. What do I mean by that? It means that like whenever you see that one church scene in the original Kingsman, where he was just fucking bodying everybody in that West Baptist church or whatever it was called. It was
I
like
don't know.
the I if anything, it's based on like the name of the IRL place here in the US where they are
No clue.
known for to be like extraordinarily prejudiced to everybody else that's not part of their religion. So regardless
No clue.
whatsoever. So regardless, there's that one church scene in Kingsman here, and pretty much it just goes crazy. What's all like what seems like they are long takes too, but if you do pay attention to the way how like they are doing these shots, a lot of them are called like swipe transitions, where you can probably tell too whenever it feels like there's an object that gets very close to the camera and then just swipes across it. That's actually a new cut or take that starts from there. So a lot of times it's just a lot of like different types of clips and fights that are stringed together with very clever swipe cuts here and there. So you have that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and 2. Actually, no, 3 actually at the best action sequences there. I would say 2, but it's also kind of a candid and corny otherwise too. But 3 it probably has the best one just because it has compelling storytelling.
Yeesh.
My opinion anyways. But there's another one. Oh, Extraction by Chris Hemsworth. Holy fucking shit, that movie is brutal.
Yeah, it's quite brutal. Very brutal. I agree.
Yeah. For those that are like also want another recommendation, if you want something that's like dumb action fun too, look with up Extraction by Chris Hemsworth, where he really likes doing these types of movies too, where it's just pure on like action adrenaline stuff too. And man, when I say too that like the takedowns are almost as brutal as like the movie The Raid, which that itself is also a really good action movie that I would love to recommend to people to watch. If in this case, if you could stomach some gore here and there. However, it's not as gory. It's just a lot of people get fucked up pretty fucking bad in that movie.
Fuck 'em up.
It's like I've never seen something where it's a 2v1 situation of a fight scene and it's tense. Like what? So I'm not trying to point like the narrative of like action movies have like gone down in quality for a while too, ever since like the era of like kung fu movies. No, if anything, I feel like it has even evolved too, to the point right now you have other people that were inspired in it. They're now working in these film industries and they're trying to throw in their takes about it. Hell, look at what Kingsman. Apparently, the one that's doing the action camera work too, he is very known and he does have a YouTube channel called Riven X3i. So subscribe to him. He does a lot of amazing camera work with like a handful of other talented like stunt people there too. And he is primarily all of his action shots are directly inspired by him watching anime. That is actually the coolest part about that is the fact that this guy he has effectively made it so that a lot of like screen stills or a lot of screenshots that we see about like anime action and fight sequences too, he is able to portray that pretty well on camera or on the theater screen. I think he has done like more works more recently too. I just can't list them at the top of my head at the moment. but I think he did work on a Star Wars title. I just don't remember which one it was. There's that too with uh all right. Now that in this case we're in the modern times too here, I'm gonna just ask you guys, what is your favorite action film to this day?
Sheiks.
And I will tell you guys why Karate Kid Legends is probably the worst terror movie that I've ever seen.
Unsurprising.
I've never seen it.
Don't worry, I'll tell you about it too, so you don't have to. I'm gonna spare you the trouble. This is the first movie I will actually tell you that don't watch this movie. Holy shit.
I don't even know what I like.
Does action comedy count?
Yeah, action comedy still counts in
Rush
this.
Hour.
God damn it.
The Rush
Of
Hour
course.
trilogy, bro.
Of course.
Okay. Mind you, that was probably like I wanted to kind of avoid this too, just because the way how it is too, Jackie Chan doesn't really like that movie per se, just because of his like racist portrayal of him. But that was only in this case where everybody else that says Jackie Chan never liked making a movie. No. I think in general he does like making a movie with Chris Tucker. It was just at first too, he just didn't expect it to do well. Just because of like how much of it is like feels like it's racially insensitive at the time too. But next thing you know, it's the best thing ever because this is coming out from like an era of buddy cop movies.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's still a good movie regardless. People are entitled to their own opinions, is whatever, but it is still a good movie regardless.
all right. So in your guys' opinion, with all the three Rush Hour movies, and there's in this case a potential Rush Hour 4 coming up. Now, out of the three, where do you rank the three here from worst to best?
Ooh.
Well, definitely three is on the bottom for me.
I think I like 2 the most.
Actually,
I would
yeah,
say so as well.
yeah, 2 is definitely the best one. The first one was definitely like it had like it's very you could tell that it was like very awkward stage of like, oh, we were trying to figure out if this works or not too, and then it's like a hit cult classic here and there too. People love watching that shit.
Yeah.
The second was probably like the best form of it, combining in this case the drama aspect from both Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker here and there too, despite the fact that it's an action comedy film. Which is, that says a lot for the movie like that back then. But then third kind of lost its way a little bit too, where it was trying to focus too much on a comedy aspect. And even if they did try to like flesh out the drama too, it
But
didn't really make sense in my opinion.
realistically, it was mainly because it was like a long time after the first two movies,
Right. So it was,
like 6 years or something, 5, 6 years or something.
yeah.
It was a while after the first two movies, so I think they kind of like they didn't really know what to do with the movie. That's what I felt like.
Yeah. Oh, here's the
They
fucking.
just wanted another Rush Hour.
Yeah, and that's what it truly did feel like too. But I want to say a hot take about this one too, just because of this actor being. I think he is the most typecasted character in all of existence, Hiroyuki Sanada. If you don't know who it is, just by the actor name alone too, he was in the Shogun series called Yoshi Toranaga. And he was also in Bullet Train as the Elder and John Wick Chapter 4 as the Japanese samurai guy. And he was also in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. If you're not hearing what I'm throwing down here, he is typecasted to be like literally the actual Japanese samurai. The only other the only other role where he wasn't that was in a movie called Life, which I believe it was Ryan Reynolds. No, Jake Gyllenhaal was featured in that one, but that was like a sci-fi horror film.
He was also Scorpion.
Yeah, it's like Hiroyuki Sanada is the unfortunate of Americans asking, who do we cast in this role to be Japanese? Looks at Hiroyuki Sanada. I was like, God damn it. You have Ken Watanabe.
Ooh.
And you still. And he's another. God damn. He was also featured in The Last Samurai as well.
Didn't watch the movie, Ryan.
God damn it. What's another one? He was in the Godzilla movies.
Didn't watch those either.
What the fuck? No, he was
I
in the
don't watch
recent Godzilla.
movies.
What the fuck? Okay, you probably we watched the Godzilla King of Monsters together. That was about
Brian,
it.
you're the only one that watches movies. Let me be honest.
God
For
fucking damn it.
real.
I feel bad about this. Sorry if I feel mad about this shit. But yes.
I'm gonna say something, but I will not say it. You already know what I'm gonna say.
God, this is why I feel like you're the brand risk out of the three of us here.
I didn't say shit though.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's
I
your.
didn't say anything.
You don't have to say it live too. It's just me outside of the conversation that I know what you would say anyways. God damn
I
it.
will not say it because I'm not that dumb to say that.
Moving forward. God damn. And then there's the Kingsman stuff that we talk about too. That's also a really good action movie to watch into. Rush Hour. God, it's a cult classic in our hearts too. Even though we say Rush Hour 3 was their worst performing one, I'd still catch myself watching a couple of the scenes here and there too, just because of how absurd a lot of it are.
There's only one scene, specifically one scene, and it's the hospital one.
Move it, I'll blow your ass cheeks out. It's like,
I remember the one where they find how Shai Shen was on the fucking back of a woman's head. It's like,
That is-
It's so-
that is it is the dumbest plot point that I could imagine.
like Lee,
Telling you.
go over there and check the hardware.
Make sure she's not a man. It's like,
Oh, like essentially that's what she's saying.
oh god. The movies were. I think realistically too, what Rush Hour is, they were just unapologetically like offensive. That was like the point of like the movies like this.
Those
So-
days were something
No,
else.
no, the humor of the days, you know.
Yeah. And nowadays, I don't know if any of this can honestly fly, or if anything too. Like, let's take for example Tropic Thunder. That was like a great action comedy film too. It was featuring Robert Downey Jr. blackfacing.
Yeah, that'll never pass today.
No, there's some people that will give like I think Robert Downey Jr. gets the pass just for that.
Oh man.
E-
not a lot
even
of
though
people
that's
agree
like-
with you.
I know it's like some people would, but I don't think a lot of them would, in my honest opinion. God damn.
Yeah, what are those some people that are not of that race?
Yeah. Oh god. But moving on to the point too, with like modern action movies too. John Wick is the series too that definitely like sparked in this case a new wave of like action movies are becoming like much more visceral in the West at least. One of which too is like you kind of just see Keanu Reeves still actually kicking ass, even though that he's actually like pretty much old. He did get injured on set in one of the films too, but he still kept going. It's like, oh shit, all for the fact that it plays into the character's condition at the time. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Now, for all of you guys too that you did watch John Wick, or at least like some parts of it, how do you feel about all of the movies too? And which one was your favorite out of the 4 movies that came out?
I only watched 2, so I can't really say too much
I
on
know.
it.
I know. We'll watch more later, Loy. So there's that.
John Wick. Don't kill my dog.
So I will
think,
get.
I think I like 3. Is 3 the one where they're in the hotel and then
Like in this
a
case,
bunch
was
of
there the
those-
shootout?
bunch of those- yeah, the bunch of those armored guys came in.
Oh yeah, the shootout in the hotel. Yeah, that was the 3rd movie.
Yeah, I like that.
For me, I actually like the 2nd movie a lot. Just because, like, wait, no, that happened actually in the 2nd movie, Victor.
Whichever one, I forgot, but yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
movie that is what
Yeah.
Victor like.
Yeah, it
basically.
was. That was the 2nd movie because the 3rd movie it featured in this case the Indonesian actors that were
Yes,
part
yes.
of like the raid too. So, yeah, that's what it was too. And then it features the one guy from Iron Chef America that's like a big fan of John Wick, but at the same time fucking marking bodies. It was such a weird, obscure, and funny character that feel like he didn't belong in the whole series, but it made it work. But I will at least say too that I think in terms of like everything else, I actually do like John Wick 2 more than all of the other movies. John Wick, the first movie, is like second place, obviously. Anything below that too is like it's mostly just whatever. Only because I have a hot take with it too. And it's the fact that like John Wick movies are great until like it started becoming a little bit too much. Where like the last movie that he was into, there's one particular action scene. I'm just like, dog, I'm fucking exhausted watching this too. Like, how the hell is this possible? I'm okay with watching like action movies and I don't have this problem. But here, it's just so exhausting to like watch it because he's like injured so much and he's like struggling to like go through the next step, but he trudges on. It was like, Jesus, dog, there's no rest. Like, that's just how I felt when watching like the most recent John Wick films. Outside of that, two is by far the best one. That was the hotel shootout. It's like, and also the last one of the last few movies too, where we get to see Lance Riddick reprising his role as Charon. In this case, for those that don't know who that is, he was a hotel concierge at the front desk. So that was like him, and John Wick 3 would be like his last movies that he would be a part of. Just because in the fourth movie, they actually did show that he gets killed off. So in a lot of ways too, it's like one of the things to pay homage to Lance Riddick's legacy of like, in this case, badass action characters too. It's like still remembering like his line too that he delivered when he was like, everyone was trying to shoot at the people that invading into the hotel with like bulletproof like armor and whatnot. Nothing was working. Charon gets back into the armory pissed off as well, gives him and John Wick a shotgun and says, I'm a piercing slug, 12 gauge. It was like, so we're really just gonna fuck them up, huh? It's like, damn. So I will at least say too, John Wick makes actually watching like gunfight movies interesting to watch. But man, when it comes to the hand-to-hand combat scenes later on too, god damn, Keanu, I know that you're trying to demonstrate to us that you could do these fight scenes, but jeez, my guy, I'm exhausted watching you. You look tired doing this.
He is tired, bro. He's old.
God damn. But nowadays too, with the way like how like everything else, I think right now we can at least agree to that like action movies themselves aren't really like a dying format either. If anything, they're honestly being improved by people that used to love watching like action films back then, and they're now like part of the production team of like showcasing and whatnot.
I'm
Also,
sure that nobody's saying that fighting movies are dying. It's just, not the same. That's it.
yeah, and it's also not the same too whenever you have like other forms of media that you can actually watch that there is outside the West if you want good action movies. For example, Korean films. Holy shit. I think our favorite one, Victor, it was like, I think it was like in Night Runners or Night Hunters, where it was like the two
The
buddy cop movies.
one?
Yeah.
I think
Like
it's
that.
Night Runners, yeah.
Yeah. Holy fuck. That was a entertaining like action comedy to that level.
Yeah.
So there's that. If you want like an actual, in this case, a recommendation of like a really fun like K-drama series that you should watch, watch Bloodhounds. It demonstrates some amazing like boxing scenes. If anything, I will only know too just because of the fact that I got spoiled a lot of the episodes through TikTok. Holy shit. But then again, there are people that are simply just simping for the two main characters of Bloodhounds. Like, goddamn.
They hot.
it's a Korea K drama. What else do you expect? A lot of the characters are hot.
I mean, they could be some ugly ass K-pop like K-drama people, you know, man. Who knows?
I mean, look,
I'm just kidding. I'm not objectifying them.
we shouldn't be objectifying shit anyways.
I'm
Looking at
objectifying you.
what the hell? That's not what I wanted. Don't objectify
Anyways.
me with those perverted eyes of yours.
Oh, we baby, come here.
Oh god, no, get away from me.
Hey.
Oh my god, leave me the fuck alone. But
Saranghae.
but in all aspects too, which countries, Victor, do you believe in that have like the best like action movies? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a simple answer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, best action movies. Well, we're just. I mean, I'm used to watching Chinese action movies.
Oh, true. That's why I say it might be an easy pick for you because that's all that you really kind of consume too. Okay, but let me put it down then too of like if I were to at least like compare like all the other movies that I've watched from like other areas, it's actually really close to being between South Korea, Indonesia, and again also China as well. Even though Japan actually does have very one good action movie that exists, and it's Rurouni Kenshin live action. If you haven't seen it yet too, it's amazing choreography that they do here. So
Just one.
yeah, at least one that I can think of right now, because it's unfair for me to make that statement because I haven't watched too many of them yet. It's very
This boy
unfair to make.
watches a ton of movies.
Yes. And guess what? There's a ton of movies out there, and I can only watch so many
What
at
a
a time.
fake.
Shut up, Victor. It's better that at least I
Like-
watch it, this shit, so we can talk about it. God damn it.
What a fake.
My
What a
God.
fake boy.
But some of the things too that like, if anything, I'll probably set this up to be like a next thing to look out for the next week topic, which will be a Star Wars topic. I really do wish too that like Star Wars actually does take more inspiration of like other like region of like action choreography, because back then too, the way how I describe it, I think Star Wars actually has the potential to showcase really amazing action sequences, and it could be like to the level of like a kung fu film of like the way how the story is told, but god damn it. Yeah, I'll just say it as this: the sequel trilogy movies did suck for me. So, regardless how anybody feels about that, too, you will have to hear more about it next week. But I guess moving on from that. Well, because one, I don't really want to talk about Star Wars at this point, too. This is because this is
Why?
mostly because we're talking about action and kung fu movies, too. You know what? We'll also throw in there, too. If you really want to see like a throw your feet up on your coffee table too and just have a good dumb fun too, watch any of the Stephen Chow movies.
Yes. Absolutely.
Victor, do you have a recommendation of which Stephen Chow movie they should watch?
Well, you should definitely start with Shaolin Soccer.
This motherfucker.
I agree.
I still can remember in this case you gave like a thesis statement of like why you think Shaolin Soccer is by far the best movie in all of existence.
Well, I don't even remember what I told you, so.
It was just something, it teaches you a valuable lesson, and also it doesn't take itself seriously, while at the same time it's like an entertainer. In terms of like what a movie should be, it is the most entertaining piece of movie that anybody could ask for.
It is, and it also gives you life lessons too. It's a great
Yeah,
movie,
like
guys.
yeah, Shaolin is life, I guess. Like everybody should learn how to do Shaolin martial
Well, that's
arts.
not the life lesson.
Oh, well, at least that was a message at the end of the movie. But yes, I get what you mean.
No.
I was going for like the best like Stephen Chow movie that anybody should watch, and if they still remember, Kung Fu Hustle. Holy shit, that was way ahead of its time of like how great this film was in terms of comedy, action, and storytelling.
Mhm. Storytelling.
I am a sucker when it comes to good storytelling. So, if in a lot of ways too, Stephen Chow is like probably like a really great producer and whatnot, and he usually stars in the movies that he is producing himself too. So it sort of sounds like he's very conceited about it, but yeah, fuck it, right? If he wants to have fun doing this shit, let him have fun, right? So, moving from there too. You have Stephen Chow. That was probably a great director to do all this. And I guess if you guys are really down for it too, Donnie Yen makes really good popcorn action movies. I think his latest one, or at least the one I could think of the last time I remember, was him being I believe it was like a defense attorney or a prosecutor attorney. But in one of the action scenes, he starts doing a raid where he's beating people up with like a ballistic shield. I'm like, what is happening? I thought you were a lawyer. It's like he's serving sentences with his bare hands, I guess. God. So, any of which too, action movies aren't necessarily I believe are not like they haven't decreased in quality for a bit too. If anything, I do think that like for me, I kind of felt this way a little bit too, just because I see all my favorite kung fu stars that are aging out from like the media too, because you hardly ever see Jet Li in like movies anymore, because let's be honest, he's old as shit now. And rightfully so. I don't blame him if he want to take a step away from it and actually be like taking care of his family or do other projects he wanted to do. And then you have people like Jackie Chan, where I feel like he should retire too, because oh my god, the amount of stunts that he did in his lifetime, everybody is impressed with the feats that he could do when he does his own stunts. I, for the most part too, like I just hate like watching people like just destroy their bodies for the art. But I guess that's like him loving like filmmaking and making these movies, right? But it's like, at what cost does it become to the point where it's excessive?
Well, at his age, anything's excessive at this point.
Yeah, because like we already see what happened like to Bruce Lee, especially like both him, or in this case Bruce Lee passing away, and then Brandon Lee was trying to like complete some like the films that he has left undone and then passing away from then on. I remember I made that incorrect statement too, so apologies if any of you, whenever I make that Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee dying the same way too, that is my fault. I did not actually look up correctly on the cause of Bruce Lee's original death. I thought it was like a filming accident too, because I know Brandon Lee's death was by film accident, almost to the level of Alec Baldwin of like oopsie daisies.
Oh, it's a prop.
It's like boom. Well, if anything, the gun was supposed to be unloaded.
Crazy, man.
Or at most, it was supposed to have a blank. So, whatever happened then too, it's like for me, like for my own enjoyment, I love a lot of the action scenes that we had now, but it's also, it pains me to see like old actors trying to like still do a lot of the action scenes, albeit Expendables is sort of less like separate, just because the way how like they treat their, or they acknowledge the fact that they're old, and then they showcase a lot of action scenes of like, oh, this is kind of cool, but it's mostly them just standing around and just shooting guys stationary.
Yes.
So there's that. Oh, why did I not think about this too? There's actually is a good action movie that came out, and it's Bad Boys. Bad Boys for Life.
Hell yeah.
I watched that shit on the plane too. Oh my god.
Who
Sorry.
the fuck are you?
God. That was Bad Boys 2. Whenever they got the guy Reggie. I love the fact that they kept Reggie as like a ongoing character to the last movie. And the payoff was the fact that he was just a badass in the last movie.
For real.
Absolutely.
For those that don't know or haven't watched Bad Boys, where have you been?
For real, bro.
So, slight movie review for this too. Bad Boys takes place in Miami, Florida, especially with two guys working for Miami PD. They are mostly in charge with, in this case, drug busting and all that sorts. And then it goes into the stories of like trying to find camaraderie between people that have idealistically different approaches to, and in the last movie as well too. God damn it. His partner was trying to be like a pacifist and whatnot too, but at the very end too, it almost got his ass killed. And next thing you know too, he has like the almost near death experience where he thinks he's fucking immortal.
Yeah, and he's almost butt ass naked in the gown on the top of the.
God. That was great.
Hey,
And
Reggie
then-
stole the show though.
Reggie did
Bad
steal
actor.
the show just because like he was the punching bag character for so long. And if anything too, we secretly wanted him to like he needs to have his moment too in this movie, right? That it feels right, especially with the way how Bad Boys is. And that payoff was so amazing. Whenever you see like the home invasion scene and Reggie just holding down the fort himself.
Bro,
Only
it's
God.
so good.
It is.
I think
don't-
what killed me more is at the end is
Yeah.
when they were at the bar, like doing their little barbecue.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like he's standing there with his chicken. It's like "Mike,
Permission to grill chicken.
He killed 15 people at the house.
It's like
Hell yeah, I'm gonna let him cook his chicken.
It was like for the people that don't know, too, Mike and then one Mike is in this case Will Smith in this one, and he's during this scene too, in the exchange too, that they were grilling, they're trying to argue about it, and then out of nowhere, you see Reggie who comes out with like a plate of like chicken that he needs to grill on there. It's like, excuse me, we're trying to do all this stuff too. You could go back there and like do all this stuff too. But you see, for the longest time, his partner doesn't say anything too. It's like he just whispers it, "You ain't gonna do anything about this." It was like, Mike, he killed people in my house. Of course I'm gonna let him cook the fucking chicken. It's like,
All right, permission
It's
granted,
a-
Reg.
permission granted, Reggie. I'm gonna go get the potato salad. It's like, God.
I'm gonna go set the table.
It's like, and then it just pans in a shot of him having like the smug of like, that's damn right too. It was like, God. That was, I believe, if you haven't watched like the OG Bad Boys up to this point too, that was probably like the best payoff for people that have watched the movies back then and then to now. And here's the thing that I'm gonna put this as like a slightly spoiler and also another hot take with it. I think they are gonna continue on with the Bad Boys series, and I hope they do. But instead of Mike and Lowry being the main characters, we focus on Reggie and Mike's son to be the next set of characters that we focus on. Just because both of them showcase that they are phenomenal actors and action performers too. So there's that. But so if anything, despite us having the tangent earlier of like I prefer like a lot of like my action films coming from like the Asian countries too. There's actually one particular person too that does have like a lot of action series that's done right too. And surprisingly, it is actually Chris Evans. I do want to see him like do more with action sequences. Only because the most part too, I think his best movie when it came to like the Marvel movies was Captain America's Civil War. Him versus the Winter Soldier. God damn. That was like the most turn on scene I ever had watching an action film. Knife work and all.
You got erected, didn't you?
Hell yeah. Fuck it.
He was like erect.
Oh yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about too, you could look this up too, where you could see Sebastian Stan playing as the Winter Soldier here, where Bucky, as he's fighting Captain America too, you see him, he does like a knife flip up and catches it from the other hand to try to do a stab maneuver.
That was pretty dope though.
Yeah, if anything, that was all Sebastian Stan. There was no double doing that scene. That was just him doing that as a one take. That was actually the shot that they went with. Only one take for that.
Pretty good.
Yeah, albeit too, a lot of times too, whenever they make this, everybody has to go through like a training of like trying to do previs of, in this case, visualizing what the action scenes is going to look like for the camera, and they do a lot of practice and a lot of work on that to build up to the scenes. So there's a lot of like pre-production work that has to be done before they actually start shooting the sequences. That's why in this case, the next Marvel film with Spider-Man, it's going to be featuring, in this case, the action director too that work on the Shang-Chi movies. So I hope for good things, at least. But any of you guys have any hot or trash takes about like action movies? And it's okay to say that like Expendables was a terrible movie, although that's not really an opinion that it's very specific, honestly.
That's not the point, bro. I mean, it's not about. It's not. It's just about. It's just about all the explosions and all the booms, bro.
Yeah, stop projecting, Brian.
You know
Yeah,
what?
Bryn.
You know what? I'll say this too. Despite everybody pointing out to this hot take, I still believe Michael Bay is the best director, action director that we have ever seen.
Big boom.
Despite the fact that it seems so elementary about it too, he knows how to make shots look epic. That is the thing here that he does really, really fucking well. Yes, everything about it moving leading up to it is just dumb and stupid. But my god, whenever we saw those Transformers movies back then, holy shit, I was so turned on.
Dude, that made me erect. And like giant robots fighting each other, hell yeah.
And then you see the humans equally kicking ass too. It was like, where the fuck's the GPS? My right or something like, where's your cell phone? It's in my back. Left cheek. Apparently that was unscripted.
I don't remember.
Left cheek, left cheek.
Can't forget about Megan Fox too.
Yeah, God.
Ooh. Little 10-year-old me had a little fire truck going up. Wee.
God damn. God damn.
Oh, woo.
God damn.
Hey, I'm just saying how it is, dog.
There's that, and God. Say what you want about like those movies back then too. They were great.
Of course.
As much as like people want to criticize Michael Bay for like doing all this stuff too, that like it's so fucking bland and generic. It was like if it was that bland and generic too, why did it still do so well in box office regardless?
I don't see it as bland and generic, bro. All his CGI like explosions and everything, bro, they were definitely top notch.
Yeah. Hell, he even somehow managed to pull a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action to do pretty well too.
God. Those Transformers, bro. Those Transformers were sure something.
God.
Like they look good, bro.
God. And just to make everybody know this too, he was also the director for the Bad Boys series. So if there are shots that look very similar that you see in the Transformer movies, yeah. In Bad Boys, yeah, that's him. That is him. So everybody can throw shit and whatnot. I am, in this case, I will defend Michael Bay in this regard too, despite everything that people have accused him of if anything, being slightly sexist or slightly misogynistic, depending on how he treats like the female co-stars of like all this stuff too. A lot of times it's only because he's doing this just because of the fact that he knows that's what sells movies back then. All right. Like I said, I don't necessarily condone this, but I could see where he's coming from. Mind you,
Brian,
look, we don't need to also dig into why I also love playing Wuthering Waves too, okay? We could stop there.
Hell yeah, big old titty physics.
God damn it.
He's right.
Look, God, I hate you for that.
Bro, men and women are the same. They see big booba and like, god damn, that shit jiggling. That's what they're gonna say.
Am I
wrong? Especially
true.
Brian.
Hey, calm down there. All right, this is going to be a separate topic then too. We'll do in this case. I guess me and you, Lloyd, we could do like a whole Wuthering Waves like story update too of like what we think so far.
Oh, I
later
don't
on.
care about that. I haven't been paid attention to the story.
God,
I just zoom past that shit.
God damn it! So I'm gonna be the only one that actually pays attention to the story. God damn it! All right,
Bro,
whatever.
all I care about is fucking Galbrina being the fucking baby of Bayonetta and Dante and having Virgil aesthetics. No, Nero aesthetics, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to like check you on that shit. I was like, hold on there. I mean, technically, they're both related to each other, so you're not
They're all
off.
related to each other. Besides
Besides,
Bayonetta.
yeah. But regardless, moving back to that point too. My hot take about it too. I think Michael Bay. I want to see him how he does kung fu films. In all honesty,
Bro, somehow fucking No, I honestly think it's gonna be like a fucking Power Ranger thing. Like those
you know
big
what?
explosions.
You know what? Actually, fuck it. Let Michael Bay direct the next Power Ranger live action. Hasbro, you hear? Actually, I don't even know if they actually have the Power Rangers titles anymore. I think that went to Disney now. God damn it! Fuck. Anyways, Disney, please let Michael Bay direct the next Power Rangers film. It's going to be amazing. Trust.
Trust.
You don't need to have it in all this too. Give him free creative rights to make this film too. If he needs to bring on like the same action director that worked on Shang-Chi and the Kingsman series, let him do that. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
So,
you'll turn Brian on.
most definitely.
He's gonna be erect.
I already am thinking about that scenario. But yes, moving on. Anything that you guys would like to leave off, I want to make sure that nobody remembers that statement.
Brian's erected by Shang-Chi action films and
God
Civil
damn.
War action
No,
films.
no, don't say that. That makes
Rice is
it
weird.
no, that makes it seem like I like Simu Liu. No.
No, you just like the action. You just like the action. It's not like you actually have to like him.
Yeah. See, there's a difference now. Good.
No difference.
Fuck you, Victor. God damn it. But yes, thank you again for tuning into one of our unhinged rants to this date, I guess.
Bro, everything we fucking say is unhinged.
True. I'm defending Michael Bay of all fucking action directors too. When there's so
Bro,
many
I
better
literally just
directors.
say why we play fucking Wuthering Waves and it's fucking titty physics. Granted, the gameplay is also great.
Yes, we will do another podcast topic about that. Probably it will just be like either me or Loy, because I don't know if Victor you want to be sitting in on this too. But we'll figure that out later. But yes, thank you again for tuning in tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Drink responsibly. Good night.
I mean, Brian's an alcoholic.
What?
Brian's